welcome back, everybody, to the Tiger Sports Show. Another week at looking at everything that's going on in Tiger Athletics. I'm your host, Greg Mays. I'm here with my little brother and co-host, Tren Mays. How's the week been, Tren?
Oh, it's been a good week. Just keeping getting into a routine, so tired feet, but that's normal.
What did you do? What did you do during the Tampa Bay New England game? How did you deal with your split allegiances between those teams?
But it was a good game.
Did,
The rookie
did you
played
just
really
do it like
well.
usual? Did you just do it like usual and wait to see who won and then root for them?
No, I was going for Tom the whole time. But it was fun. They cheered him really loud when he came out and then booed him like crazy when the game started. So it was interesting to see their reactions. But it was fun. It was a late night, made for an early wake up call after a late night. So uh,
I didn't watch. Those are easily two of the worst uniforms in the NFL, so I won't turn that on. Who
oh,
did
that's
win,
fine.
by the way?
Tampa Bay won
Tampa Bay won. All right.
because
All
New
right.
England New England kicked one off the goalpost from about 54 yards with 2 seconds left.
Brady's always slimy lucky. You know that.
He's not slimy. Gee whiz, you
Ever
guys.
since Bledsoe got cheap hit on the sidelines, Brady's been getting lucky.
Well, Brady didn't. Brady made plays, and well, the key was the Bucks could run the ball. They had 100 yards. The Patriots had -2, so
Ooh.
that was the difference in
Well,
the game.
I believe in running the ball. All right. Well, let's
Yeah,
let's get to the story that was a lot about running the ball Friday night at the Osborne Family Sports Complex. The Tigers came home, hosting the York Dukes. A good game, Tran, a battle. Came right down to the end, but the Dukes came out on top, 14-10. What's your observations on the Tigers' night last Friday?
well, defensively, thought the Tigers played very well. A very good game on defense. Basically, gave up the last drive was it. We had a pick or a turnover that set up their first score, and then they faked the field goal right at the end of the half. So that was huge. But I thought the Tiger defense played. I was very impressed. We had a lot of TFLs. Um, they like to run certain formations, and we were very well prepared for those, I thought, for the most part. And then the drive at the end, after we get a pick six, which I was standing in the north end zone when I wasn't busy with kids, saying we needed a pick six or something to get the momentum turned in. It turned in a big way. And then York just played big boy football and basically went 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards down the field and uh, put the game away. So,
Yeah, they just physically took the momentum back, didn't they? It was Oakland Smith. Oakland Smith on a big scoop and score. Uh, Joe Rodriguez had a big block for the Tigers. In that off defense to offense switch, he really showed some quick thinking. I thought that was going to win the game. I thought that was going to win the game for the Tigers.
yeah,
And then York went up tempo and ran the ball straight ahead, and they were
yeah,
just snapping it quick and running straight at us and put together the only drive of the night, but it was the only drive they needed because of that fake field goal call. I didn't see that fake field goal coming. They were taking about a 32 yarder, and we'd hit a 31 yarder. The Burton kid had gone out there and hit that one. I thought they were just
yeah.
going to try to match us, and instead they got the old trickeration going on us and took the lead at halftime. I was really proud of the Tigers to come back. That's tough when you feel like you're going to be leading at the half or maybe tied. You've really been playing good defense, and then they sneak one in on you like that. I was really proud of the way the boys came out and played hard third quarter.
Yeah, definitely. That I missed that. I was a little busy. I think I had half the HMS boy population decide to descend on the north end zone at that time. So I was a little busy and missed the fake, but it was definitely good to see the Tigers and they just got to keep chugging along and keep fighting for yards and inches, and just try to send the seniors out the right way. So, 2 games out of 3 weeks left with the bye, and they just need to keep fighting, and I think they will. So,
I do too. I do too. We'll talk about what's in the future for the Tigers here in a little bit. But yeah, it is at Aurora this week, and that's a heavy load. Then a bye week, and then at home for the Grand Island Northwest Vikings, a game. I think Northwest would be favored if you want to play that kind of game in high school. But I think it's a game the Tigers could get after. So we'll talk about those a little bit later. You got anything on the younger Tigers? You heard anything about the freshmen or JV here?
The JVs, they're in a little bit of a different state right now. They're doing some scrimmages with some smaller schools. Donovan Trumbull came calling on Monday, and I talked to Coach Kruger just in the hallway briefly today. He said they got a lot of young Tigers in the game, probably sophomores and such. Some of the players who don't get a lot of JV time, and he just saw a lot of good things. I keep hearing really good things from the JV coaches and the sophomore coaches and all the way down to the freshman coaches. Freshmen have a big game against McCook tomorrow. Given what we heard last week about McCook maybe dropping down, so it might lose a little of its luster with them dropping down to C1, but it's still their proud football program, and I will definitely be going to see that one. Schedule's a little opened up after school, and I'll try to sneak over and watch the Tiger Frosh play. They have a
what is that?
Really solid bunch.
4:00 kickoff at the high school field tomorrow.
Probably 4:30. It's when we usually
Probably
kick freshman games, but it might be earlier since the sun's coming down sooner. So sunset. So I'm not sure.
That's true.
You always on that. So
you always got to worry about running out of light for football games here as you get a little late. Well, I love that JV scheduling. I love the way they schedule the scrimmages. Really shows the coaching staff is serious about the young kids. Because sometimes it's tough to tell which young kids are going to help you. And you gotta have some creative scheduling so they all get some game time and they all get seasoned and you can start getting them, because you don't know who's going to go to work in the off season.
Nope,
and a lot of varsity football is about who's going to go to work in the off season.
Yeah, they have a big game at Kearney on Tuesday, or on next Monday. The JVs do, and then they have another 3-team scrimmage, triangular, at Gibbon with Donovan Trumbull and Gibbon reserves. So that'll be nice for them to get some more younger kids. And then I think they have one other game left. The Frosh season's got to be coming. They probably have a couple more weeks left. So
yeah, they probably still play Grand Island. And have they played Northwest yet?
Not sure.
I mean, when I was a freshman in 1982, you finished the season with Walnut, Bar, Northwest.
Yeah,
Sometimes freshmen.
Freshman hosts McCook tomorrow, 4:30. They go to Kearney on Monday, 6:00. And then they have Northwest at home on Thursday. And then they go to Columbus. Columbus is their big finale for that.
Yeah, Columbus. I forgot about that one.
And the JVs are just on the road. They go to Kearney, and then they have the triangular with Gibbon and DT, and then that wraps up the reserves in the JVs.
Well, I got 2 things to say. If you're thinking of going over to Gibbon, they got a nice facility for a Class C school. Nice facility to go watch that JV scrimmage. And number 2, in 1982, we beat Columbus at the end of the year to go 5-3, secured that winning record. So that Columbus game can be big. That can be big. All right. Well, speaking of big games, let's move over to the softball diamond. The Tigers won the sub-district this week, defeating Grand Island Central Catholic and Grand Island Northwest really handily in both games. And now it's on to the district final, which the Tiger girls will host out at the Smith. It's an all-Smith complex postseason for the Tigers. Friday, best of 3 series against Crete. Now, before you tell me what you think of Crete, tell me about the sub-district games with Central Catholic and Northwest.
The GICC game got over quick. We'll just put it that way. It was 13-1. I was glad I didn't ask to get off work early. We turned the radio on at the job site and saw a lot of home runs. Tigers hit 5 homers, scored 9 runs in the second. It was only a 3-inning game. Alyssa Breckner, first Tiger homer. We like to celebrate those. Delaney hit another homer. Sammy, who you're still taking credit for Sammy's recent power increase, right? You're still taking credit
Because she
for
wants to
Sammy
be
Schmidt?
talked about on the show. She wants to be talked about on the show. You got to hit dingers.
Yeah, she hit a dinger. Kaylin, so the way the Grand Island radio, they said Kaylin's was an absolute bomb. Went about 250 feet. On her 3-run homer, Mac hit a homer.
Mac Long.
Peyton Hudson got the win. Got out for the GI Northwest game at 6. A lot of Tiger fans there. I was impressed with how full the bleachers were. I had to sit down in the bullpen area on the Hastings side, right by the playground, and Hudson was coming down to warm up, so I had to make sure. I knew she had a good catcher. She had Grace warming her up, so I knew there weren't going to be a lot of wild throws from Hud. Faith only gives up 1 hit against the Vikes. Sammy again just goes off, which is great to see. She had a double and a big 3-run homer to get the party started in the second. They put up a lot of crooked numbers. They just didn't have one big inning. They go for 4 runs in the 4th and 4 runs in the 5th to put it away 12-1. It's always good to beat the GI Northwest Vikes. You know how I feel about them. And we're looking to that Friday.
Well, and that's a team who thinks they can be at state. You know, the Vikings will be hosting a district final. They got a wild card in the district final. They're expecting to be down there, and the Tigers made short work of them. That's kind of good to see. Okay, so what are you thinking of Friday? Friday, we got the Crete Cardinals coming in here. Hasn't been very many years since Crete was Class B state champions. Now, I know they've changed coaches, and the big Malley girl has moved on. But they were state champs, and they're coming in to play at 12, and then as needed. It's a best-of-3 series all in one day. What do you think?
It'd be 12-2, and then as needed. So we know there will be 2 games. You got to win 2. They obviously in the wild card points they were lower. They're one of the hotter teams in B. They went to Wayne and knocked them off, and got 2 come from behind wins, late game wins to punch their way into the district final. Tigers just need to go take care of it.
Beatrice in the first round?
No, Beatrice hosted. I'm not sure who they beat, but they had to come back in that game. They were probably the 3rd seed. So
they
had to fight back.
They were.
Yeah, so they had to fight back, and they got
were the
Wayne
3rd seed.
Yeah, so they had to fight through that and got Wayne at the end. It's just
they were 12-14 coming into that sub-district. They've just evened up their record at 14-14. Yeah.
Yeah, it's TCB for the Tigers. Just take care of business. They're really the offense has come along. The homers are nice, but we've been hitting a lot of line drives, a lot of doubles and triples, and they've had crooked numbers. We're not depending on one inning with 9 runs. We can put up 3, put up 4, and they just keep pressure on the other team. And I love the way they're drawing walks. They're making these girls pitch, and they're making them throw a bunch of pitches. And then the bottom of the order can hit the dinger, but they also can get the double and get on base and walk and set the table for the top of the order. And they drilled. Oh, they beat. Yeah. And the top of the order had like 6 or 7 RBIs, and that's because the bottom of the order is setting the table for them. So, which is great to see.
All right, I got one key. For the district final Friday, and that is if things get a little tight, just play softball. You know, the great enemy of the favorite is if something goes a little sideways early, and sometimes a favorite will tense up. Hey, this isn't how it's supposed to go. What's going on? Our girls have played a lot of softball. They know better than that. However the game starts, just keep playing softball, because the more you play softball, the more likely the better team is to come out on top, and Hastings is the better team.
Yeah, we just need to hit the ball and just keep putting pressure on them. Faith probably in the circle, and they got P HUD ready to go too. And the
And
thing is,
Alyssa.
and Alyssa too. So they have three.
Yeah.
The fun thing about HUD and Melina is they work off each other really well. Faith is more about speed and power. She's going to bring the heat. P HUD Peyton can spin it, and it just gives you a little different look. I love how Coach Speak mixes and matches them, and she just has that. She can just feel when she needs to change the pace a little bit and put Hudson in. But just get on base, keep hitting the ball. You don't have to hit the big glamour homers, but us fans like those, and I'll be out there. I don't miss district finals, so gonna get off work and go out there about noon and root the Tigers on to victory.
I might have a chance to sneak out for game 2, but the girls are on their own for game 1. They want me to teach school. All right. Well, we hope lots of people can get out there, start working that work schedule right now, and get out to the Smith and make some noise for the Tigers. And of course, we don't want to plan ahead too much, because the girls got to get 2 wins Friday, but then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, hopefully the whole town will be out there cheering the Tigers as they'd make a push to be Class B state champions. They fell one step short of that last year, and I know what the girls have in mind is not falling one step short this year. So we'll see how that goes. Should we run through some of the other sports here, Trenner?
Yes, we can do that.
All right. Well, big news in golf. The golfers went out to McCook. What do you know about the course out there in McCook, Trent?
Not much. I'm more of the miniature
rattlesnakes.
golf.
That's all you need to know.
Okay.
When you're golfing to the west, rattlesnakes. They went out there for conference. My producer thinks I'm talking about districts, but I'm talking about conference. They went out there, didn't fare too great. North Platte won that baby out there. And then districts in York, where you don't have to worry about rattlesnakes. And our girls, they're tougher when they don't have to worry about rattlesnakes. Anna Brandt finished second, district runner-up. That's a great time. Kriggs, the Kriggs girl. What's her name, Annie? Leah Kriggs. My wife here is helping me out. Krings. She's getting on me about pronunciation. But she qualified for state. You said, Trin, that was on a technicality? What happened?
It was on a DQ. She was the 11th golfer, and the 10th golfer had a scoring card mistake. And the girl that finished 10th from GI Northwest, and they had to disqualify her. And Miss Krings got excited at the end when she heard her name called.
I bet she did. When I first heard disqualification, I was hoping that Northwest golfer had yelled something at an umpire, but you're telling me it was just a scorecard thing?
Yeah, it was just a scorecard thing. So,
man, that would have livened up the golf meet, but that's all right. Excited to have those two girls going. Really, the girls came within a couple eyelashes of getting the whole team there. Going into the last couple holes, we had a chance to get into that third team spot. Didn't quite come together, but we're excited to get those two girls to state and see how they can do there. Boys tennis also had conference. The only two conference events in the Greater Nebraska Conference, a conference that really Trent is kind of barely hanging on here. The only two events in the fall. It's on life support. It certainly is. When you can't even manage to host a cross-country meet, you're on life support. But we'll get to cross-country in a minute. Boys tennis went out to North Platte for conference, finished third out there. McCook boys won that conference meet. And then the boys came home and had a duel with York, lost 6-3, but swept number 1, number 2, and number 3 singles. Wow. So that's a nice day. Braden Schramm gave no quarter to the York Dukes. He won 8-0 at number 1 singles. And I think people across the state know that he's going to make some noise, or is planning to make some noise down at the state meet here in a couple weeks. And then number 2, Ablett, freshman, Parker Ablett is playing number 2.
Mm.
And I think you'll see those guys stick with singles in the postseason, though you never know about Coach Sunderman. He kind of knows how to fit those boys in and make things happen. And then who else did we say got a win against York? One of the Hafer boys. With Ben. We think Ben Hafer got a win. So, really, the Tigers have been struggling with depth, but it looks like they're getting their guys ready. I don't know exactly how we're going to go into state with the number 2 doubles and number 1 doubles, but we'll find out that pretty soon. I'm sure Coach Sunderman is working something up. Let's see, what does that leave? Oh, volleyball. Volleyball last night, Tren got a nice win over Beatrice, and then lost to Northwest. Did you see anything about that?
No, I did not. So I missed that one last night. So I know they have a big one tomorrow at Aurora.
Yes, indeed. I heard we were a little shorthanded. That win over Beatrice was nice. Beatrice had beaten them at Columbus a couple weeks ago, and we were down a couple girls. I don't know if we had some illness. I think we've got one injury at least we're dealing with. And so we weren't at full strength. So that was a nice win over Beatrice. Then we lost the nightcap to Northwest. I know you won't be happy to hear that. But the girls are building towards their postseason, which really won't get started till it's almost Halloween. And I know a lot of people around town have had their Halloween decorations out a long time, but it is not almost Halloween yet, Trent.
Yeah.
You got your Halloween decorations out?
No, I do not. It is almost daylight 24 hours a day when you live on the main drag in Hastings, so in the financial district.
The financial district. You got to be careful about how many pumpkins you're leaving out, you're telling me?
Well, yeah, because it's basically daylight outside 24 hours a day.
All right. Well, you seem to be sleeping okay. All right, let's see. Cross country. Cross country, I'm forgetting. You know where cross country's going this week, Trenner?
Gothenburg. Is it the
land of the Sunflower State?
Oh, they're going to Kansas.
They're going to Kansas. Coach Rosno's calling it a field trip. I told him it was like a bowl game. It's like a bowl game for these kids. They're heading down. They're trying to make their last adjustments before districts are at Gothenburg.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But they're making their last adjustments. Ogallala, Trent. Ogallala is further than Gothenburg.
Yeah, well, it's close.
I've been to Ogallala. That is not an exotic course. I went out there one year for district cross country and hung out on the beach at Mahoney. It was so nice. We went to the beach at Mahoney, hung out on the beach, and then went over and watched cross country. So that's like a bowl game. That's like going to Miami.
That is a bowl game.
But also rattlesnakes. You got to be on the lookout. But cross country people are so fast, they don't have to worry about it as much.
Very true.
All right. Well, I think that's kind of the rundown of what everybody's doing here as we head into what's truly the home stretch. Golf is ready for state. Softball's at district finals. Everybody else is going to be there in a little bit. I'm dealing with gnats, not rattlesnakes. But we're in the home stretch, and the football team heads over to see Tren. I don't know what you think, but I think it's one of the best 2 teams in the state with the Aurora Huskies.
Yeah, I would put them up with I think it's Platteview and Bennington. I think are right up there with them.
Plattsmouth.
Yeah, that's right.
Plattsmouth is the real place.
Yeah, Plattsmouth.
Platteview is made up.
Okay. Aurora hung 41 on York in the first half, and actually could have scored more, and could have had 44 points. So they have a really good running back. They're very deep. We saw him last year. QB's gone, but they have a good defensive end that Nebraska's looking at, and also the running back a little bit. So just go make strides. Go try to get better every week. And a lot of young kids are playing now. And hopefully the young kids stay motivated to send the seniors out the right way. A week from today, we'll be at hopefully state softball. We may have to move the show. If we have a preview show, we may have to move it up to Tuesday or Monday. So
Yeah, well,
I
we
don't
may
know how
have
you
to do
feel
it
about
live from the
that.
complex, Trenner.
Yeah,
But let's
that's
get the
true.
Tigers there first, and then we'll start working
We can
logistics.
get there, so that's fine.
All right. Well, another big week as always in Tiger Athletics. It's getting to be crunch time. Hoping to see a lot of people out at the games cheering things on. Tren, you got the last word today. What do you want to say?
Go Tigers. Take care of business.
Go Tigers.